What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and back to another episode of the Overland Build Series. Today we're going to be hammering our pinch welds. I've had quite a bit of problems with it rubbing on the back of the fender towards the door. It's not rubbing crazy. I've left it like that for probably, I want to say, a couple months, so it's still drivable. But whenever you turn, and especially when you hit a bump, you can hear it hit that fender on the backside and on those pinch welds. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to hammer those pinch welds. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Alright, so as you can see, this is what we're working with. What I'm having an issue with is this, and it's just barely rubbing on the pinch weld, I think, but it's still rubbing there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, and there's a little bracket behind here. You can still cut that as it won't hurt anything. It's just what's holding these bolts in right here. So I'm going to cut a triangle piece off the side. And then I'm going to bang these down. I know a lot of people bang them that way, but I'm going to bang them back this direction because there's more space to bang it back. So that's where I'm going to bang that at. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I just have this little box knife. You can use a box cutter if you want, or whatever you want to use. But I'm going to come and I'm going to cut around about this point. I'm going to cut on back and down to about the top of this bolt here. And that's about there. And then you can pull it out, or you can just cut the edge. I'll probably just end up cutting the edge. There we go. This way you have access to all that. This is one of the brackets that's holding the bolt, so I'm just going to cut that. And then I also have a pair, and my tires, honestly, I'll probably never get my tire up in here, just because I don't think I'll be doing anything that crazy yet anyway. But now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to cut the side, and then once I have the side cut, I'm going to go ahead and bang all this stuff back. Alright, so all I'm doing is I'm using Scotch tape to kind of tape along and line up exactly where I want to cut. I want to keep this line right here and then cut all the way down to make it look kind of natural. But I just need to get about 1.5 to 2 inches back. That way I'll have plenty of clearance. Alright, so I'm going to take a piece, and then I'm going to kind of line it up because I want to keep this line. There we go. And that'll give me plenty of space with the body mount at the bottom, because I know if I hit I know I should not hit the body mount, so if I cut this back to where the body mount lines up, then I should be okay. So that's what we're going to cut at. This amount is what we're cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, and then after I cut this off, then we're going to go ahead and hammer down those pinch welds. Alright, so now we got about that much trimmed off. So now I'm going to cut across here and then get that piece knocked out. Alright. So that's cut back. That should be plenty, honestly. Alright, so now you can see I got this piece cut, but there's still a little bracket right here. So this bracket is what we're going to cut, and it's literally just a little hollow piece of metal right here, as you can see. This is just the fender liner, but it's just a hollow piece of metal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our angle grinder and angle it in there, and we're just going to literally cut back and just keep with that line and cut up under there, and that should be fairly simple. Alright, so this is one of the pieces that came off. I'm going to trim just a little bit more back here and just kind of get this little corner out of the way. Alright, I'm going to hammer this back just a little bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to hammer back our pinch welds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this little bracket off right here. Let me get this out of the way. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to hammer our pinch welds back, and we're just going to lay it down. Down here it gets really thick. Up here is really easy to hammer. So what I'm going to do is I got some vice grips, and I'm just going to kind of bend it back a little bit just so I can get that bend started so I can hammer. And then I'm just going to get it started back a little here and a little here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut here, and I'm going to make one cut here at the bottom. The reason for that is just so we can fold this whole thing down, because it's going to make it really hard if we don't. So I'm going to make a little cut. And just don't go too deep. There we go. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start hammering back. So I'm gonna use these vice grips and try to get a little bend started back here. The bottom's definitely harder than the top. It gets thinner at the top. We're just getting our bend started. And then this should clear us plenty of space for our tires now. And shouldn't have any more problems with rubbing. So now I got a bigger hammer. And I'm just gonna keep banging this stuff back. So if you can see, the body mount is right here, and I've got the pinch weld hammered back closer than the body mount. So this part, the body mount basically is sticking out farther than the pinch weld, so we should be good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray the inside of here. I got some Flex Seal. It's like a rubber coating. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray all the inside with that rubber coating, so that we don't have any issues with any rusting or anything like that. And I'm just gonna put it on pretty heavy, honestly, because I don't want to run into any issues later with rusting or anything like that. So we're gonna put it all in here. So after that, we should have a full turn radius. So I'm gonna spray this stuff on there real quick, and then after that, we'll see what it looks like once we're able to actually turn. So I got this can of Flex Seal right here, and this is what we're gonna spray on here. And just make sure you try to get the back side back in there, so that we don't have any problems with rusting back in that side. Also spray this bracket that was cut as well, so we don't have any rusting issues with that. And there we go. It looks pretty good, pretty clean. And then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like once we get the tire on and how much extra space we've got.
Alright, so we are finally finished. As you guys saw, this job was actually super easy. It wasn't very hard at all to do. It's probably one of the easiest things that I've done to the 4Runner so far. So if you guys are kind of nervous about hammering your pinch welds or thinking it might be a lot to get into it, don't be nervous about it because it's not hard at all. Like I said, it's probably one of the easiest things I've done to the truck so far. As you can see, we've got a lot more clearance now, especially with the back. We're not rubbing anymore. And so I drove around a little bit just to see, you know, make sure it didn't rub or anything. And I've hit bumps and stuff like that, and it didn't rub at all. So the clearance in the back is totally good now. So now we have cleared our 295s. So if this video was helpful to you guys, definitely smash that like button and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.